let's get the nuts and bolts through this, Elliot. The process has officially begun. Seattle aiming to become the 32nd franchise.
Yes, and they have asked to formally apply for an expansion team, and they will be allowed to do it. They're aiming for the 2020-2021 season, and they also have been given permission, like Las Vegas was, to do a season ticket drive somewhere along the way to gauge the interest. I think the most interesting thing about it is $500 million was Las Vegas's fee. Seattle has been told to get in, Nick, $650 million. I don't think anybody will be surprised if they do it.
Elliot, did you see and hear Gary Bettman, how quickly he could throw out $650 million? Proud as can be,
yeah.
And I don't blame him. The numbers are astronomical in terms of how much value now is in these franchises, and he's capitalizing. He is striking while the iron is hot here. 30% more than Vegas. So where are we maybe 3, 4, 5 years from now? Does it keep going up? Does it escalate another 30%?
How many teams do you want in this
Have we
league?
now outpriced Quebec City, guys? When you think about U.S. money at $650, now maybe 3, 4 years from now, we're talking close to $1 billion Canadian for a team in Canada. I believe that maybe any Canadian city now is outpriced.
You know, I think the one thing about Quebec City, and Bill Daly, the deputy commissioner, held a small briefing after Gary Bettman was done, and he said, look, we need to go west. And the other thing, too, is the word relocation did come up in this media conference, and the league never uses that word. But I think that's the carrot for Quebec City. If there's another trouble situation, that's where it comes in.
And Nick discussed it yesterday. You want balance. They want 16 teams in the East, 16 teams in the West. And he also did mention the potential of a rivalry with the Vancouver Canucks. And he said the Vancouver contingent seemed fine to have a new rivalry perhaps forming in the year 2021 of the National Hockey League. So that was one big piece of news, and maybe not shocking because it was started to drip out there earlier this week. The other piece of news is an ownership change. Not finalized yet, but there's going to be a new majority owner for the Carolina Hurricanes, Peter Carmonas, selling it to a billionaire, Tom Dundon.
And he'll have 52% of the team to start with the option to buy the rest in 3 years. And Nick, what stood out to me was the commissioner went out of his way to let everybody know this is not a relocation. And part of the deal, like every owner who buys a team, you cannot move for at least 7 years.
He was crystal clear on that, Elliot, but still the problems remain in Carolina. How do you generate revenue? A lot of people think, despite a new owner with deep pockets, it will never work in Carolina. So that saga will continue.
You know, the one thing I would say is that they've made the playoffs once in 12 years. Now, they look like they're trending in the right direction, but I think it would be almost impossible for anyone to survive in this league if you make the playoffs that infrequently.
And Elliot, the commissioner, also spoke about issues in Canada, particularly in Ottawa and Calgary, with both teams needing new buildings. We'll keep an eye on that in the next 24 hours, see if what we hear further on that.
It was an eventful day one of the Board of Governors meetings. Day two on Friday should be also pretty special. It's going to be business as usual because they're going to be talking about the monetary streams for the National Hockey League, specifically the upcoming CBA situation, as well as the salary cap issue. So much more coming your way in the next 24 hours here in Florida.